Now, with more Banks Braves athletics on Westside Mobile Media, here's the voice of the Braves, Trevor Beard.
Good evening, and we're live from let's try that again. Test. Test. Test, test. 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 Off. There we go. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened, but I think we have our audio issues figured out. Good evening and welcome once again to Banks Braves High School Athletics on Westside Mobile Media and Westside's Greatest Hits.com. Tonight it's a huge midseason matchup between the Corbett Cardinals and the Banks Braves, live from Banks High School. Corbett High School, located about an hour east of Portland, in the heart of the Columbia River Gorge. Banks High School, 25 minutes the other side of Portland in northwest Oregon, about 25 miles west of the City of Roses. Warrenton, Corbett, Banks, and Yamhill Carlton all within a game or a match and a half. First place with Warrenton on top at 5-1, Corbett 5-2, Banks 4-2, and Yamhill Carlton 4-3. Riverdale and Rainier Rainier and Riverdale round out the rest of the Coastal Range League for the 3A Northwest region for volleyball in the state of Oregon. JV still, actually JV2 finishing up their match with Corbett. Corbett JV2 actually. Banks does not have a JV2 squad, so their JV is playing Corbett's JV and their JV2 squad. Our only broadcast of the week for Banks High School, as Kennedy on Friday for homecoming. We will not be at that broadcast due to responsibilities with Pacific University for play-by-play for boxers volleyball. And they have ended the JV2 match with a 17-17 tie, as we only have about 15 minutes left before the start of the varsity matchup. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back, get you set up for varsity volleyball between the Banks Braves and the Corbett Cardinals. In fact, I think we're going to be about 5 minutes late for first serve. This is Banks Braves High School Athletics on Westside Mobile Media and WestSidesGreatestHits.com.
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Same great smile, same great service, but a brand new location and a great new team. Sarah Hesselman Group is still proud to support Banks High School athletics, but has now joined the Premier Property Group real estate team with new offices located in Bethany. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, contact the Sarah Hesselman Group, Sarah at sarahhesselman.com, or call 503-313-0748.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
And we're back. Banks Braves High School Volleyball on WestSidesGreatestHits.com and Westside Mobile Media. Breast Cancer Awareness Night, and Braves players wearing pink warm-up t-shirts with the pink ribbon on the sides of the sleeves on one side, with their numbers on the opposite side on the left sleeve, with pink outline and white numerals on the back of the short sleeve warm-up t-shirts. Braves in navy blue lettering with volleyball underneath. Not sure if we're going to have any mid-set festivities, but in the past they have done auctions and bake sales and all kinds of fundraisers between sets to raise money for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. In fact, one season they raised over $8,000 just by auctioning off a one game used volleyball during that match. I can't remember who the opponent was that night, but it was a pretty great night. I think they raised over $10,000 in just that one night for the Susan G. Komen Foundation and breast cancer. October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Taking a look at the OSA 3A volleyball schedule for tonight. Westside Christian, the #1 team in the state, is at Oregon Episcopal. Horizon Christian of Tualatin, a team Banks defeated here a couple of weeks ago, is at second-ranked Valley Catholic, and De La Salle North of Northeast Portland, Hollywood District, is at Portland Adventist. Coastal Range League, that's 3A District 2, Banks District. Yamhill Carlton is at Riverdale. Warrenton travels to Rainier, and Corbett is at Banks. Pac West Conference, Willamina at Amity, Taft at Dayton, and Salem Academy travels to Santiam Christian. Banks picked up a pair of wins in the Eagle Classic at Santiam Christian last weekend in Adair. Mountain Valley Conference, 3A District 4. Harrisburg at Lapine, Elmira at Pleasant Hill, and Cresswell is at Sisters. Far West League, Sutherland at Glide, Siuslaw at Top 10 Douglas, and Coquille travels to South Umpqua. Eastern Oregon League, one match. Nissa is at Vail. Southern Oregon Conference, Brookings Harbor at St. Mary's. Cascade Christian of Medford at Rogue River. Non-league, Burns travels to Lakeview. Iragon visits Umatilla, and Riverside of Boardman heads to 1A South Wasco County, which I believe is Moppin. Seven teams in the Coastal Range League. Neocani is the other team I could not remember during prior to the previous break when we were talking about kind of the tight and the disparity in a league, and kind of not really any separation between the top half and the lower half. Again, Warrenton, Corbett, Banks, and Yamhill Carlton within 1.5 games or 1.5 matches, if you will. Neocani just a game behind that group. Rainier, half a game back, and Riverdale winless at 0-7, and also 0-11 overall. Top 10 officially, according to OSAA, Collie and RPI rankings, kind of BCS style, the same way they also do it for football. #1, Westside Christian, undefeated at 17-0. Valley Catholic's only loss came to the Eagles. They're ranked #2. #3, Burns, also one loss on the season at 20-1. #4, Sisters, 13-3. #5, Cascade Christian of Jacksonville, Medford, 11-4. #6, Dayton, 11-3. #7, Douglas of Winston, just south of Roseburg, sits at 9-2. Callan Gable of Northwest Portland is in 8th at 9-6. Vail is ranked 9th at 11-6, and Salem Academy is ranked 10th with a record of 10-5. Again, Coastal Range League, arguably one of the worst, at least when it comes to rankings, as far as strength of teams within their league. Top team ranked among the Coastal Range League is Warrenton at 23. Banks just one spot back at 24. Banks handed Warrenton their only loss of the season last week. Corbett is 27th. Right now, If the playoffs finish today, Warrenton, Corbett, and Banks would be your three teams to advance to the 20-team 3A volleyball bracket at the end of the month. Not really any other teams from the Coastal Range that are in contention for an at-large bid. In fact, those three teams mentioned, if it were based primarily on rankings, nobody from the Coastal Range League would get in because they're all ranked outside the top 20. Yamhill Carlton at 29, Rainier 30, Neocani 35, and Riverdale at 47 sits dead last amongst the 47 3A volleyball teams in the state of Oregon. We'll take another 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll get you a look at scores from volleyball matches around our area in 4A, 3A, and 2A volleyball action. This is Banks Braves High School Volleyball on Westside Mobile Media and westsidesgreatesthits.com.
Visit Main Street Pizza in Banks, located next to Jim's Market, for the best pizza in Washington County. From loaded hot baked subs to a Main Street special pizza piled high, we will satisfy your pizza cravings. We've been serving and supporting the Banks community since 1986. Open daily at 11 a.m. Call ahead now to place your order at 503-324-5858 or follow us on Facebook to see our daily lunch specials. Mention this radio ad and receive $2 off any Main.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
For more than 45 years, Housemaster has been offering residential and commercial inspection services with more than 200 locations across the U.S. and Canada. We've helped more than 3.5 million buyers and sellers make important real estate decisions. Housemaster of Southwest Portland helps local residents make the right choice when purchasing a residential or commercial property. Call Housemaster of Southwest Portland, 971-245-2500, or visit their website, housemaster.com/southwest-Portland.
Transaction Transmission in the heart of Banks specializes in transmission repair, but they service all types of vehicle repairs and makes and models. 5-star reviews and quality workmanship you can trust. Owner Joey Tardio doesn't just repair vehicles, he eats, sleeps, and breathes all things auto-related as an auto racer March through October. Trust your vehicle to Transaction Transmission at the end of Sunset Avenue in the heart of Banks. Call 503-359-9141.
Now with more Banks Braves Athletics on Westside Mobile Media, here's the voice of the Braves, Trevor Beard.
3A volleyball scores from last night, just two matches. Callan Gables swept Portland Adventist 25-5, 25-13, 25-23. Blanchette over Scio on the road, 3-1, 25-23, 20-25, 25-14, 25-17. 2A volleyball last night. Kennedy swept Colton 3-0. 1A. No teams locally in action last night. 4A volleyball. Staten swept North Marion 3-0 in Oregon West Conference. Marshfield swept Junction City. Marist swept North Bend, and Pendleton swept 2A Weston McEwen. Well, they've added time back on to the clock. Original start time was scheduled for 6 o'clock, and game clock still shows 13 and a half minutes, and we're 2 minutes actual clock time to 6 o'clock, so it will be more like a 6:10 or 6:15 start if you're tuning in expecting to be ready for first serve action between the Banks Braves and the Corbett Cardinals. Taking a look at other teams around our area, we have a little extra time before we get set for first serve and public address duties with starting introductions. Northwest League, Clatskanie of Columbia County sits in first place, undefeated in the league at 9-0, ranked 6th in the official OSAA 2A rankings. Gaston is in 3rd in the Northwest League. Vernonia second to last with a record of 2-7 in league, 3-12 overall. Lewis and Clark League, many of those teams around Washington County and Northwest Portland. Westside Christian again undefeated at 8-0 in league, 17-0 overall, number 1. In fact, they've only lost 3 sets all season in their 17 matches. Valley Catholic 7-1, 16-1 overall, ranked number 2. Callan Gable 8th at 6-3 and 9-6. Horizon Christian is at a perfectly even 500, 4-4 in league, 6-6 overall, 26th in the state. Portland Adventist of Northeast Portland, Mall 205 area, ranked 17th, 3-6. All league record, no non-league matches. Oregon Episcopal 2-7 and 3-8, and De La Salle 0-9 and have won their only non-league match. They've only won 3 sets all year for the team from the Northeast Portland Hollywood district right off I-84. We talked about the Coastal Range League earlier. Pac-West Conference, top 3 teams. Dayton undefeated in league at 10-0, 11-3 overall, currently ranked 6th. Salem Academy 10th at 7-2 in league, 10-5 overall, and Santiam Christian 3rd at 7-2 and 7-5. But Salem Academy, Santiam Christian, Taft, Blanchette Catholic, all within 1 game of each other, all with 7 wins, and expect that to be a battle for the playoff spots from the Pac-West Conference, with those that do not get automatic bids from the West Valley and Salem area schools to get at least one of the at-large bids, which there will be, I believe, three or four to the 20-team bracket at the end of October. Mountain Valley Conference, Central Oregon, and south end of the Willamette Valley. Sisters currently ranked 4th, 5-0. They've had a pretty strong program dating all the way back to Banks assistant coach Megan Bunn when she led Banks to a state title over the Outlaws. That was our first year broadcasting Banks Athletics back in 2015. They're currently once again atop the Mountain Valley Conference, undefeated at 5-0, 13-3 overall. Harrisburg second, tied with Crestwell. Harrisburg, the Eagles 10-6, the Bulldogs 10-8 overall. That's the only difference in those two teams' records. However, it is Crestwell with the stronger ranking at 13 and Harrisburg at 20. Far West League top 3 teams: Coquille 11, Douglas 7. I think that is only a 2-bid league. Coquille 4-0, 8-5 overall. Douglas of Winston 3-1 in league, 9-2 overall. Eastern Oregon, Burns and Vail, the top 2 teams. Burns 6-0, only 1 loss on the season overall. Vail 4-1, ranked 9th, 11-6. And the Southern Oregon Conference, Cascade Christian Cascade Christian 5, St. Mary's of Medford 14, and North Valley 12. We'll take another 2-minute break and continue with more Banks High School volleyball. Late start tonight on a special night, Breast Cancer Awareness Night, first home volleyball match of October for the Braves. We'll be back in just a moment.
Proudly serving our neighbors in Washington County since 1946, LaHaye's is your destination for locally made Letterman's jackets, custom embroidery for business apparel or a unique gift, and scouting uniforms and supplies. LaHaye's is on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Hillsborough. Open Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4, and anytime online at lahayes.com or call us at 503-648-2341.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Whether it's a steaming hot old-fashioned cup of joe or hot chocolate on a cold winter day, or an ice-cold Italian soda or iced coffee on a hot summer day, any time is a great time to stop by Scoggins Creek Coffee. With 2 locations in Gaston and Yamhill Carlton, their warm and friendly baristas will get you the delicious drink of your choice. Scoggins Creek Coffee, call 503-985-3483, 503-985-3483.
Are you looking for a job with flexible hours, a way to support your community, or a first step toward a career in education? ESS has exciting substitute teacher and paraprofessional openings at schools throughout Eastern Yamhill, Columbia, and Washington counties. You'll enjoy creating your own schedule with weekly pay, ongoing training, and benefits. Begin your rewarding career in education by applying today at ess.com.
And we're back, Westside's greatesthits.com and the Westside Mobile Media YouTube channel, home for Banks High School athletics. Tonight it's Banks Braves volleyball hosting the Corbett Cardinals on Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Banks will be in their home white uniforms. Corbett in red uniforms except for the libero, number 2, Ava Yunker, 5'4" junior libero. Red uniforms with the red and black Cardinal logo above the white numerals, with Corbett in black lettering with white trim above the number and white number with black trim below the lettering on the back with black shorts. Banks will be wearing navy blue, almost black shorts for their uniform combination. A little bit of extra time to talk about football for 3A and the Banks Braves after what happened last Friday night. Banks a 41-20 victory in what many touted as one of the top 10 matchups in the state last week, not only in 3A football, but in all of Oregon high school football from 6A to 1A in a great football contest. We said going in that it was going to be decided by either defense, turnovers, or special teams in a match where both teams were averaging close to 50 points a game. And Banks with 3 interceptions in the first half, 4 takeaways in the game. And the difference in the game was 3 scores, 4 turnovers. There's your difference in the game. Banks with the 41-20 victory in a game that was a little bit closer than that, but I don't think quite as close as what some people or a lot of people expected with both teams undefeated headed into last week's contest. Other scores from 3A football last Friday night. Warrenton in was sounded like a dandy of a contest, winning in double overtime at Valley Catholic 21-20. That will be our next broadcast, is Banks hosting Valley Catholic on the 24th. Kennedy routed North Marion 50-0. North Marion's only win came in a narrow 3-point defeat or 3-point victory over Newport early in the season. Amity all over Newport 42-7. Taft routs Scio 49-13. Santiam Christian blasts Blanchette 49-0. And Dayton slams Salem Academy 43-0. District 3, Madras gets their first win of the season, giving Lapine a wallop 41-6. Pleasant Hill crushes Elmira 42-16, and Sisters getting their first battle from Cresswell in quite a number of years, but still able to come out victorious on the road 35-21. District 4 in overtime. Upset Douglas of Winston wins at home over Sutherland 41-40. Coquille over Brookings 34-14, and Sayuslav Florence, top 10 team. I think what was expected to be a top 10 matchup entering the season. No problem with South Umpqua Myrtle Creek at home 48-13. Cascade Christian routs Klamath Union 69-0. Vale all over McLaughlin in a 63-0 shutout. Burns over Umatilla 62-7. Yamhill Carlton gets their first win of the season in a non-league matchup against Willamina that was scheduled to join the league, but playing an independent schedule due to low numbers. And Nissa defeats Lakeview 22-13. Just about 90 seconds to starting introductions for the Braves. We're going to go ahead and step away now for just a moment and get you the introductions for both teams and tonight's national anthem in arena or in gym. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. And we're set for the first serve between the Banks Braves and the Corbett Cardinals, and it appears that maybe the pink short sleeve T-shirts that Banks was wearing during warm-ups are not only their warm-ups, but also their actual uniforms. They all are wearing, now they're going to take off their warm-up T-shirts and their pink garb. White uniforms, navy blue numerals with Vegas gold trim, in block-style numerals with cursive font Braves lettering in navy blue and Vegas gold trim on the back underneath the numerals. Numerals on the front with the smaller Banks Arrowhead logo just inside the left shoulder on the front of the uniform. And again, navy blue, almost black shorts for the Braves. Banks High School gym runs east and west. Banks will be on the west end of the court. Navy blue circles at midcourt with a very thin, probably no more than about a half an inch wide, transparent circles separating the inner circle at midcourt with the Vegas gold and white Arrowhead logo dividing the midcourt stripe. Clear coat finish with a almost white tint. Navy blue inline and sideline all the way around with Banks in transparent lettering on each end line. And the first serve for the Braves is going to come up short off the return from Corbett into the net. Banks with the first point of the match. Holding serve is Kylie McCraw, the junior. And short-lived side out to start the match for Banks with Layla Hagan coming up with the point from the far side of the front row for Corbett. And we're tied at one early. Would not expect this to be anything less than a 5-set drag 'em out, fight 'em out war between these two teams with volleyball now with Corbett. Used to be Corbett and Valley Catholic, but Valley Catholic is now in the Lewis and Clark League. Corbett, really the main rival for Banks in women's sports and high school athletics in Oregon. Long serve from Banks, that time too far beyond the volleyball end line on the serve from Sawyer Peters, and we're tied at 2. Claire Bruton, the 5'9" sophomore setter, to serve just inside the key for the Cardinal. Peters. Braves come up with the return. And Kylie McCraw smacks her chest and says, "My bad." Bad assist on the, tried to leave it for Harlow Johns, let her too far into the net. And Corbett regains the lead, serving up 3-2. And too much that time from Brooklyn Evans, just inside the near back corner in front of the Corbett bench. Tied at 3, side out back to Banks. And long that time, off the serve from Ellie Seelix for a 3. Back goes the lead to Corbett after the service error. Serve from Sydney Mack for the Cardinals. much that time. Long on the return. Need to get that one angled a little bit more down instead of going flat out over the top of the net. Lauren Jansen, too much. 5-3. Corbett now with a 2-point advantage. And beautiful placement that time, right in the middle of a trio of Corbett defenders. Addie Kennedy finds a hole, and the Braves are back within one, trailing 4-5. And Morgan McCraw, the senior of the two McCraw sisters, will come in to serve. And it's lobbed back across the net off. Yeah, but they're going to get a net touch from Banks. I thought we might see a violation coming from the Braves, and the return from Ava Junker off of one touch, but lobbed it across the net, and Banks, somehow coming up, diving underneath the net, and still somehow getting it across. Banks with an incredible return. And too long that time from Kinley Gallivan. Banks back within one at 6-5, trailing 5-6. And it's an ace from Lauren Jansen, and we're tied at 6. Early in the first set. Again, the serve from Jansen. And it's returned wide, just inside the, or I should say outside the near sideline marker. In front of the Corbett bench. Cardinals regain the lead 7-6. Kira Mack to serve. Oh, short serve, but Sawyer Peters is there, gets it back from Morgan McCraw. Too much that time from Brooklyn Evans out of the back row, back to a 2-point lead in favor of the Corbett Cardinals at 8-6. Again, the serve from Mack. Evans to Morgan McCraw, and Sawyer Peters dumping it over for the point for Banks, trailing 7-8. Shook, the left-handed serve. From all the way back near the basketball end line. And Seelig tried to play it late, gets a mid up, and is just able to make contact, and that's it. 9-7, and a quick side out back to Corbett. Once again, leading by 2, 9-7. Rachel Gomez. Senior outside hitter, center of the key, directly underneath where the basketball hoop would be. Now curls around to the left low block. Nice low serve up the near side. But after some initial trouble played by the Braves, and then trying to one-hand it with the heel of her wrist back across the net. Coming up well short, Layla Hagan from the far side. Banks back within one at 8-9 and the side out. And we're back to Kylie McCraw, where we started the serve for the Braves. Junior finds her attempt across the net. And Corbett, the return wide from Kira Mack in front of the student section. And we're tied again at 9. Again, the serve from McCraw. And just missed, not by much, on that attempt from Layla Hagan, and that may be the first lead of the night for Banks, up 10-9 in the opening set. The serve from Kylie. And just long off the kill attempt from Brooklyn Evans, and we're tied at 10. The serve from the libero Junker, I believe also a pretty good hoopster as well. And again, long off the return. Warrenton again regains the lead at 11-10. Ava Junker holding serve for the Cardinals. The far side of the key. Far side for us is the south side of the gym. We're on the visitors' side, on the north section of the court. And that time, Layla Hagan, too much for Shook. Knocked to the floor, trying to keep that one off the deck. And that one's going to go into the bleachers low. Corbett back to a 2-point lead at 12-10. Felix, the libero. Turned by Peters far side. Junker back across the net for Corbett. Morgan McCraw near side to Harlow Johns, and that's the largest lead of the match for Corbett. And I think we're going to have a no timeout, but Harlow Johns will come out. 13-10 Corbett, and if this run continues much longer, I'm sure we will see a Banks timeout. And close play down the far side, but ruled in, and Banks will get the side out back, trailing 13-11. Serve from Sawyer Peters, turned by Hagan for Corbett. And the perfect assist that time from Morgan McCraw, or Kylie McCraw, to Brooklyn Evans. A thing of beauty on the kill, just inside the back line. Banks back within one at 13-12. Serve from Peters, low. Gomez on a knee is knocked to the deck. And return wide. Corbett, I think, calling for a touch. Looked like Kinley Gallivan hoping that the Braves had made contact, but we're tied at 13, midway through the first. And a swing and a miss from Kylie McCraw. Comes up short on the block attempt and goes back to Corbett, once again leading 14-13. Claire Bruton to serve. Long. Not finding the floor until it reaches the center of the key underneath where the basketball hoop would be, down to our right, tied at 14. Felix will serve. Very bottom left side of the key. And Jansen tried kind of a lazy return near side. I don't think she got all of it that she wanted to make contact, and a perfect lob back across the net, right back in the face of the Braves front line, and all they can do is knock it underneath the net. 15-14 back in favor of Corbett. And just barely returned long that time. Good eye for the Braves and their bench as it goes just wide in front of the Braves bench down to our right, tied at 15. Morgan McCraw the serve, the senior. And we're going to get a violation from Banks. Corbett once again leading 16-15. Esther Dyke. Felix to Kylie McCraw, returned by Jansen. And again, coming up short. Left side of the front line, Lauren Jansen, a 2-point lead again for Corbett. Timeout Banks. It's been a back and forth contest, but starting to get into the later stages. Banks has not had a lead of more than one. Corbett has led by as many as 3. First set, it's Corbett 17, Banks 15. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Banks Braves Athletics on Westside Mobile Media and Westside's greatesthits.com. Explore your world with Donna Mallard Hawkins at Infinity Escapes Travel. She's a Banks alum and can help you find great deals on cruises with Regent Seven Seas and discounts on guests with Virgin Voyages and Royal Caribbean. Want to stay ashore? Check out featured tours like National Parks of the American West, like tours of Croatia and Madagascar. Book your next vacation with Donna Mallard Hawkins and Infinity Escapes Travel, calling 823-634-8080 or visit infinityescapestravel.com. And we're back first set. Corbett a 17-15 lead following a late timeout from the Braves. And the serve from Esther Dyke. And too long that time off the return from Cameron Showstack. Side out back to Banks, trailing 16-17. Jansen, a right-hand delivery into the back row to Sydney Mack. Just inside the near side line on the return from Peters, and it hits the deck. Corbett unable to come up with the return, tied at 17. Serve from Jansen, and it's misplayed by Sydney Mack. And I think we have a timeout, Corbett. Banks has regained the lead late in the first set, but it's a very tight first set at Banks High School. The Braves 18, Corbett 17. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
At Wana Credit Union, every individual is unique, with different needs, different wants, and different goals. This is who we are, and we live here. Our families live here. Our friends live here. This is our home, because to us, you're not a number. You're an individual. Wana Credit Union. Individuals welcome.
And we're back following Corbett's timeout. Banks an 18-17 lead. Again, 4 teams within a match and a half atop the 3A Coastal Range League Volleyball District. Along off the return from Maddie O'Neill. Banks now their largest lead of the match at 2, up 19-17. Jump serve from Jansen. Great play at the net. That one's going to get knocked almost into the fan at the southwest corner of the gym. Those giant football fans you see on the sidelines. Big round circular fans on wheels. 20-17, Banks their largest lead of the match, up 3 late first set. Coming up short that time into the net, Sawyer Peters gives a point back to the Cardinals, and the side out to Corbett, trailing 18-20. Kiramak, 5'7" sophomore setter. Banks lucky they were given, or gifted actually, some extra time to regroup after they lobbed it back across the net, and Corbett couldn't come up with the kill. Sawyer Peters, too close to the net, runs into the net pole near side, and Corbett with back-to-back points. I sense if this game is tied or Corbett takes the lead again late in the first, we might see another Banks timeout. And there it is, tied at 20. Off the kill from the Cardinals. Kiramak. Short serve to Peters near side. And that will be returned just wide near side in front of the Braves bench. To our right, Banks regains the lead 21-20. Warrenton, Banks, and Corbett, your top 3 to state if playoffs were to start today. The serve from Shook. And off the tip at the net, partial block. It hits the deck on the Corbett side, and Banks back to a 2-point lead late first set, 22-20. And a timeout, Corbett. Late first set, Banks 22, Corbett 20. We'll return in just a moment after this from O'Leary Air.
O'Leary Air is proudly offering Dakin Comfort Pro HVAC products. They've been serving the West Side and Greater Portland Metro since 2015. They pride themselves in getting the job done right, backed by a legacy of integrity, respect, and honesty. O'Leary Air offers competitive pricing on all their work. Give them a call today at 503-989-5251. That's 503-989-5251. Online at o'learyair.com. CCB number 239855.
Now with more Banks Braves Athletics on Westside Mobile Media, here's the voice of the Braves, Trevor Beard.
And we're back. Late first set action from Banks High School between the Corbett Cardinals and the Banks Braves. 3A District 2 Coastal Range League Volleyball. 3A Northwest Oregon District. The serve from Kendall Shook. And we're going to get an illegal touch from Corbett. 23-20. Braves again tying their largest lead of the match to 3, and this one is going to go off the far side net stick and out of bounds. Back to Corbett, again only trailing by 2. The serve from Gabby Longoria for Corbett. And diving to the floor, Kira Mack not able to come up with it before it hits the deck. Banks again a 3-point lead and set point in the opener up 24-21 as Morgan McCraw goes out. Kylie McCraw to serve for the set. Blocked, but it's going to go right to the end of the scores table. Inside out back to Corbett again within 2. And your match as Longoria knocks that one into the bleachers far side. Banks wins the opener 25-22 and goes up 1-0, leading Corbett at Banks High School. We're going to keep it here, take care of some public address duties in between sets. We'll be back with Banks up 1-0 on westsidesgreatesthits.com and Westside Mobile Media. We're going to go ahead and take a quick 30-second break and be back with the second set in just a moment.
Do you have your next vacation planned? Whether it's time for a cruise, weekend getaway, or a bucket list resort, let Lazy Hammock Travel in North Plains help you. Lazy Hammock Travel, your passport to relaxation. Call Jason Ackerman at 503-332-5571 or visit their website, lazyhammocktravel.com. Lazy Hammock Travel, proud sponsors of Banks Braves Athletics and American Legion Baseball on Westside Mobile Media.
Now with more Banks Braves Athletics on Westside Mobile Media, here's the voice of the Braves, Trevor Beard.
And we're back. Start of the second set. Banks up 1-0 in a very tight opener, 25-22. Neither team had a lead of more than 3 points. Corbett had a couple of three-point advantages. Banks with one or two three-point leads in the opening set, and that was their margin of victory in the opener, 25-22. Again, Warrenton 5-1, Corbett 5-2, Banks 4-2, Yamhill Carlton 4-3 are your top four in 3A Coastal Range League volleyball, representing the northwestern part of the state. Banks Braves High School Volleyball on Westside's GreatestHits.com and Westside Mobile Media. Banks with the first point in the second set. And back an ace that time from Morgan McCraw as the return from Corbett, and Longoria goes under the net. Banks with the first 3 points as Kinley Gallivan apparently under the net trying to come up with the return. Banks with the first 3 points of the second set. And now up 4-0. Corbett unable to come up with the return once again. Kylie McCraw dominating from behind the service line for the Braves, opening the second. And right back across the net. Haley Evans as the return is lobbed back across, and we may have a Corbett timeout coming. And great eye that time from Haley Evans as the ball right over the net, just sneaks its way across, but lobbed high into the air and able to track it for the kill. Brooklyn Evans. And I think they're going to say she made net contact, which she did, but Corbett will win the point, their first of the second set, trailing 1-5. Jansen comes up, Peters comes up short into the net. Back-to-back points to start off Corbett's opening serve of the second set for Ava Junker. The libero from the right side of the key, and Banks with the side out back of 6-2. Some issues from the far side of the front line from Corbett. Side out back to Banks, dominating early in the second set. And the return is long off the serve from Sawyer Peters, 7-2 Braves. And it's an ace. Longoria can't handle it into the bleachers. 8-2 Banks, timeout Corbett. Banks up 1-0, 25-22. Dominating the second set up early, up 8-2 in the second set. We'll be back in just a moment.
Banks Post newspaper is the official news provider of West Side's greatest hits. Listen hourly for West Side news from the Banks Post newsroom. Banks Post newspaper covers Banks, Manning, Buxton, Roy, and surrounding western Washington County communities. If you'd like more information on the Banks Post or want to pick up a copy, visit a local business today. You can also visit their website at bankspost.com or their Facebook page, Banks Post.
Legacy Roofing can save your home from leaks, mold, and other issues related to an older roof, preventing future roof issues, saving you thousands of dollars. They use only the most trusted materials backed by an excellent warranty that is transferred if you ever sell your home. Legacy is tops in their field, earning the GAF Master Elite certification and the Golden Pledge warranty. For more information or to get a free quote, call 503-357-7663 today. And we're back. The serve from Sawyer Peters up 8-2. And return wide off the dig from Junker. Braves up 9-2, and right now Corbett's defense has no match for really the serves from Kylie McCraw and Sawyer Peters. Sawyer jump serve on the run. A slide and a miss from Longoria. Comes up empty as she dives across the floor. 10-2 Braves, an ace for Sawyer Peters. And it's missed, played into the back wall by Kinley Gallivan. And Corbett's bench just beside themselves right now, trailing by 9 in the second set. Banks looking like a top 20 team early. Blocked. Longoria and Corbett can't recover. All over the floor that time defensively, but still no return. Braves up 10. Peters. Again, the running jump serve. Junker pops it up out of the back row. And Evans, too much for Junker. Another swing and a miss. Far side from Corbett, no return. 13-2. Peters. blocked into the net by Corbett. Coming up short, Esther Dyke and Kinley Gallivan. Coming out, Layla Hagan, replaced by number 9, Rachel Gomez for Corbett. Braves up 14-2. And Banks continuing to dominate this second set, 15-2. And another timeout, Corbett. Banks up 25-22, 14-2 in the second set over second place Corbett. We'll be back in just a moment.
Divine Home Solutions can upgrade your kitchen with quality cabinets. Divine Home Solution focuses on quick turnaround time from lead to completion. They also have luxury vinyl plank flooring as well. Don't just make your kitchen beautiful, make it divine. Divine Home Solutions, 971-407-6742 or 971-325-7759 and online at divinehome.solutions.
Your local lender, Christy Van Meter at Union Home Mortgage, is here to walk you through every step in purchasing your new home. Christy and her team bring trusted knowledge and years of experience to make your home loan financing process an enjoyable one. If you're in the business or have questions about purchasing or refinancing your home, call Christy Van Meter at Union Home Mortgage, 503-327-5302, or visit uhm.com/kvanmeter. Union Home Mortgage, official sponsor of the PBR. Union Home Mortgage promises cap. Christy Van Meter is licensed in Oregon 1700271, Washington MLO-1700271, and Arizona 1039867. Union Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229.
And we're back late following the Corbett timeout. Sawyer Peters again, up 16-2. Corbett trying to do everything they can just not to get embarrassed in the second set. And they're going to get an error from Banks, and finally a side out for Corbett, but still trailing 3-16. Serve from Bruton. Misplayed by Lauren Jansen. 4-16. Still Braves with a sizable lead. Bruton from the left side of the key. Just inside the left low block. Low serve is long. Peters in, Brooklyn Evans out. Kendall Shook also out. Ellie Seelix will serve, the libero, wearing navy blue with gray sleeves. This played by Yunker. Longoria can't track it down near the back wall to our left. 18-4 Braves. And way too low that time from Seelix, 18-5, but Braves dominating still in the second set. Low serve, Evans pulled back by Morgan McCraw, and a little too far into the net. Addie Kennedy can't return it in the Appropriate number of touches, 18-6 Braves. Serve from Sidney Mack. Evans far side. Gomez tried to set it back across the net, and it's dumped over by Harlow Johns, 19-6. This Braves volleyball team kind of coming of age with those 4 sophomores over the last couple of weeks with wins. I think the 4 straight match victories. And off the block, Jansen with the kill. Junker makes contact. Corbett unable to regroup defensively. 20-6 Braves. Misplayed by Longoria. And it's going to go behind the Corbett bench after Sidney Mack tries to pull it back. 21-6. Kylie McCraw, the senior. Mostly been the Braves off of serve in the second set that has propelled them to this huge lead in the second set, but Corbett recovers after the block from Addie Kennedy. And Longoria late. Tries to one-handed diving to the floor, goes under the net, 22-6. Kylie McCraw, low serve to Longoria, far side. I think we're going to get an illegal touch from Corbett, 23-6. Kylie McCraw. Turned by Corbett. Evans far side. Back to Evans. Coming up out of the back row with the hammer. 24-6 set point in the second set. Up 24-6. Just a dominating performance. Short serve from Kylie McCraw. Corbett prepared. Junker. And a couple of Braves players come together. Wow. Oh, it's going to go off the rafter, but nice effort from Brooklyn Evans just to come up with the return. 24-7, still set point for the Braves, and just I think this is going to, at least in all of the matches we've broadcast, this would go down as the largest set victory of the season for Banks, and it's coming against second place Corbett. And under the net, coming up short, Sidney Mack. Banks now up 2-0, 25-22, 25-7. Totally obliterating the Cardinals in the second set. We'll take a 2-minute break and return with what could be the third and final set in just a moment.
Casey Ogden is a healthcare expert with more than 40 years in the field serving others and is college certified in nursing and healthcare administration. Her business, Casey Ogden Healthcare Services, offers everything you need for home health, from limited medical equipment, meal preparation, medication management, medical transportation, and more. Call 971-273-6058 or email caseyogden.hcs.llc@gmail.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Specialty Screen Printing in Yamhill offers your business the creativity and expertise to print your logo on a variety of items. Owners Ken and Linda Johnson have 40 years of experience on industrial parts and every type of material, including ceramic tile. Their fast service can have your project done in less than a week. Visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com, to see for yourself how they can help you boost your company's marketing and industrial screen printing needs. Call 971-998-9274 or visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com.
And we're back. Banks making a statement in that second setup. 2-0 now after just blasting the feathers off of Corbett, 25-7 in the second set. To go up 2-0. Homecoming for Banks this Friday night against Kennedy. However, unfortunately, we will not have a football broadcast due to our duties with Pacific University Volleyball. We will also be off next week for football against Yamhill Carleton in return for games on the 24th against Valley Catholic and the 30th against Warrenton. Again, Banks up 2-0, getting ready for the start of the third and what could be the final set, up 25-22, 25-7. Kylie McCraw will open the third set. Much of the damage in the second set was done off of serve for the Braves. And once again, the aces continue. Longoria dives late, cannot make contact. 1-0 Banks just underway in the third. Serve from Kylie McCraw. Again, Longoria. This time makes contact, but just pushes the ball straight out in front of her instead of getting any ups on it. And her teammates can't do anything with it. 2-0 Braves. And it's an ace. Junker tried to run it down, and I think she might have pulled back late. Very close down the far side. Banks with the first three of the third set, up 2-0. Brave servers trying to attack Longoria in that back row for Corbett. And again, coming up short, diving Kira Mack into the ball rack just at the left end of the scores table. 4-0 Banks. Again, Kylie McCraw, an ace again. Longoria short. Five nothing. Thanks. Kylie McCraw holding serve through the first 5 points, and that one's going to go too long. Surprised she had that much energy after that many great serves. First point for Corbett comes in the third set, trailing 1-5. Evans off the top of the net, near side, just inside the net stick. Banks, a short-lived side out for Corbett, and back with the serve, the Braves up 6-1. Peters, serve to Junker out of the back row. Junker gets it back on the return for Corbett. Shook. Peters on the return to Junker, back corner. And set across the net by Harlow Johns, but it will be wide to the far side. Almost reversed those two words and said "will be" instead of "will be." Claire Bruton serving for Corbett, down 6-2. Long. Again, another short-lived side out for Corbett, a service error, putting the Braves back up 7-2 in the third. Seelix straddling the left side of the key near the low block. Just inside the line, about halfway up. Seelix can't track it down. Side out back to Corbett, trailing 7-3. Eliana Arachiga to serve, I think, the first time tonight, and it's going to be returned just wide, about 3/4 of the way back down along the near side. 7-4 back-to-back points for Corbett. Arachiga. Running jump serve. I think we're going to get an illegal return by somebody from the Braves along the front line. Arachiga again. Seelix in the back row for Banks. Corbett has fought all the way back within 2. And diving to the floor, unable to get a hand underneath it, is Lauren Jansen. Corbett within 1 at 7-6. Cardinals only had 7 points the entire second set. And it'll be long, but they're going to get a touch from Arachiga. Diving to the floor, she said no. She didn't make contact, but side out will belong to Banks. Up 8-6 in the third set, ending a long 4-point run for Corbett. And long on the serve from Kylie McCraw. Corbett back within one, trailing 7-8. And the point won by the Braves, finding a hole in the right side of the front row against Corbett. Again, teams trading short side outs. Banks up 9-7 in the third set. The serve from Lauren Jansen. And somebody from Corbett made contact with the bottom of the net. Braves stretching their lead back to 3. It was as many as 5 in the third set. And it's an ace from Lauren Jansen, 11-7 Banks. Lauren Jansen from far across the far side. Her serve is returned. Oh, somehow kind of half over her shoulder. The return comes from Addie Kennedy. That time misplayed by Sawyer Peters. Goes into the back wall near the boys' locker room. 11-8. Back to Corbett. Evans off the serve from Kira Mack. Sawyer Peters that time making up for the error on the previous serve. Right down the far sideline, 12-8. Banks back to a 4-point lead, trying to put Corbett away and take over sole possession of second place, but still, top half of the league, anybody's really the top 6 could finish in any order, excluding Riverdale, before the end of the season. And off the net, it comes near side, and Peters playing back off the net, the closest player. She's not able to get there in time. 12-9. Braves still leading, side out back to Corbett and Gabby Longoria. Shook. Kylie McCraw Morgan on the return. Junker. Back across the net near side, just inside the line from Maddie O'Neill. 12-10. Corbett back within 2. Longoria. Center of the key. Again, that running curl to her right side. And that's going to go into the Braves bench. Corbett once again within 1. We have a timeout, Banks. Third set, midway through, Corbett trying to at least send it to a fourth. They're only down 1 after trailing by as many as 5 in the third. It's Banks 12, Corbett 11. We'll be back in just a moment.
In Likeness of You offers caricatures, face painting, temporary tattoos, indoor and outdoor games, arcade games, and even costume hero birthday events. Since 2013, they've even held corporate events for some of the biggest companies in the world. For more information or to book your next party, go to inlikenessofyou.com, thebash.com, or call 503-858-0164. That's 503-858-0164.
And we're back. Abby Longoria holding serve for Corbett following Banks' timeout. Cardinals trailing 11-12. Evans off the block attempt. Maddie O'Neill loses it and can't find it as it goes over her shoulder, trying to pull it back off the net. Banks with the side out back up 13-11. Way too long wide to the near side that time from Kylie McCraw, Kylie McCraw. Always get Kylie and Morgan confused. Ava Junker the serve. Shook. Turned by Evans. Too much that time for Kylie McCraw. Into the stands, tied at 13. Junker. And Braves play it into the bottom of the net, unable to pull it back, and Corbett has come all the way back to take a 14-13 lead on a 12-6 run. Junker far side. And short into the net off the return from Layla Hagan. Maybe a little bit of intimidation from the right side of the Braves front line. Tied at 14. Peters. Low serve, and again right to Longoria, who plays it right to Maddie O'Neill, but that touch had zero control. 15-14. Braves back on top. Evans mistimed her jump a little bit that time, and that one comes up short into the top of the net, tied at 15. Substitutions for both sides. Claire Bruton the serve is played by Shook, but Celix tracks it down. And is played by Lauren Jansen. Corbett regains the lead, 16-15. Serve from Gallivan. And again, Jansen way too low on that kill attempt. It goes into the bottom of the net. Corbett now a 2-point lead, 17-15. Late third, but it's been a dominating performance so far for Banks. Much more so than we expected. Thought this might be a 5-set match, and Banks an opportunity to put it away with a third set victory, but trailing 15-18 and another Banks timeout. We'll take a 30-second intermission and be back after this from Oregon National Guard.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals, delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Oregon Army National Guard, aired by the Oregon Association of Broadcasters and this station.
And we're back following Banks' timeout. Third set, Corbett up 18-15, but down 2 sets to none. Banks with a 25-22, 25-7, 15-18 lead. And it's ruled long. Looks like it may have dropped just inside the near back corner, but Banks will get the side out. Back after the service error, trailing 16-18. Seelitz. And not really under control, but nice dig that time from Seelitz, and goes up towards the bottom of the net. Banks can't pull it back, and the side out back to Corbett. Back to a 3-point lead for the Cardinals. Low serve from Arachiga. And again into the top of the net from Lauren Jansen, a 4-point lead for Corbett. (20-16), Arachiga. Evans diving to the floor, Jansen, returned by Seelitz. And this time, too long from Jansen. And Corbett, taking advantage of the errors from Lauren Jansen, 21-16. Arachiga again holding serve. Seelitz wide off the first touch, 22-16. This time just finding it through, almost like an imaginary hole in the top of the net. That one looked short as well, but somehow finds its way across. 22-17. Still a little bit of a hill to climb for the Braves if they want to pick up the sweep against Corbett at home tonight. Morgan McCraw, the senior. And I think it went off the net stick. We have a timeout. Corbett. Banks up 22. Corbett up 22-18 in the third set. Take a short break and be right back.
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
Morgan McCraw will serve for Banks. Left side of the key below the block. And Evans took it away from Kylie McCraw and comes up short into the bottom of the net, 23-18. The serve from Dyke to Celix. Morgan to Kylie. Oh, beautiful placement that time from Lauren Jansen, finding a home in the back right corner. 23-19. Braves still down 4. Corbett hoping to at least steal a set, but still down 2-0. Banks looking for the sweep with the comeback in the third. And too much that time on the kill from Kinley Gallivan. Set point for Corbett in the fourth, up 24-19. Karamak. Evans. And too far into the net from Morgan McCraw, trying to keep it back in play. And Corbett will steal the third set, 25-19. Banks still up 2-1, 25-22, 25-7, 19-25. We'll take another 2-minute break and return after this.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How is it? Is it good?
Jason, let's go.
Same great smile, same great service, but a brand new location and a great new team. Sarah Hesselman Group is still proud to support Banks High School athletics, but has now joined the Premier Property Group real estate team with new offices located in Bethany. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, contact the Sarah Hesselman Group, Sarah at sarahhesselman.com, or call 503-313-0748.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Now with more Banks Braves athletics on Westside Mobile Media, here's the voice of the Braves, Trevor Beard.
Banks now up just 2 sets to 1, 25-22, 25-7, 19-25 after Corbett takes the third set. First serve to open the fourth is Gabby Longoria for Corbett. And off the block, just inside the far white stripe, Banks gets the side out off the opening serve in the fourth. Low serve to Longoria. And that's going to be in just inside the back line. Kendall Shook with her mouth agape, surprised that that one was inside the line. Side out back to Corbett, tied at 1 in the fourth. I believe it was Evans that time with the kill, but the ball came down so fast, couldn't see where it made contact. At first, I thought it was wide to the near side. 2-1 Banks. And somehow finding its way off the top of the net, Sawyer Peters with the ace. 3-1 Braves. Peters again. Low, this time into the top of the net. 3-2 Braves. Claire Bruton for Corbett will attempt to knock it across the net. Just long. Side out back to Banks. Seelix, left side, and that one goes about 2 feet too long. Somebody definitely ate their Wheaties this morning. Arachiga waiting for the go-ahead after some reporting duties by the officials. And Peters misplays it. Evans can't track it down. Peters comes out, tied at 4. Arachiga. And the kill that time from Addie Kennedy. Banks with the side out and the lead back. Morgan McCraw to Yunker. Long off the return from Corbett. Back-to-back points for Banks. Now up 6-4. Again, Morgan on the serve. And Kylie McCraw into the net. For Morgan McCraw. No return from Banks. Corbett back within one. Morgan. Returned by Addie Kennedy. Kennedy with the kill off the lob on the return. Back to a 2-point lead at 7-5. Felix, the libero, comes out. Lauren Jansen will serve. And coming up into the net short, Kinley Gallivan. 8-5, Braves extending their lead to 3. Low serve is an ace off of Arachiga from Lauren Jansen. 9-5, Braves in the fourth. Jansen to Junker for Corbett. Returned by Junker. Short into the bottom of the net. Timeout, Corbett. Banks 10, Corbett 5. Braves doubling up the Cardinals in the fourth set. Hoping to put Corbett away and not have to extend it to a fifth and final. We'll be back in just a moment.
For more than 45 years, Housemaster has been offering residential and commercial inspection services with more than 200 locations across the U.S. and Canada. We've helped more than 3.5 million buyers and sellers make important real estate decisions. Housemaster of Southwest Portland helps local residents make the right choice when purchasing a residential or commercial property. Call Housemaster of Southwest Portland, 971-245-2500, or visit their website, housemaster.com/southwest-Portland.
And we're back. Thankfully, no Wi-Fi issues tonight. Got our hotspot issues straightened out. Braves a 10-5 lead following Corbett's timeout. The serve from the freshman Addie Kennedy. And late communication from Corbett. Coming over is Claire Bruton after Junker should have taken it. And it's 11-5 Banks. Off the net stick far side, out of bounds. Kinley Gallivan on the return, 12-5. Jansen's return, it would have gone long, but Arachiga decided to play it late, and it's going to go into the bottom of the back wall the wall down to our left. 13-5, another timeout, Corbett. Transaction Transmission in the heart of Banks specializes in transmission repair, but they service all types of vehicle repairs and makes and models. 5-star reviews and quality workmanship you can trust. Owner Joey Tardio doesn't just repair vehicles, he eats, sleeps, and breathes all things auto-related as an auto racer March through October. Trust your vehicle to Transaction Transmission at the end of Sunset Avenue in the heart of Banks. Call 503-359-9141. And we're back. Banks up 2-1, looking for a 4-set victory over Corbett, up 13-5 in the fourth set. And off the underneath of the tape along the top, Banks comes up with the return. Oh, Evans! And I think it hit the rafter, and Addie Kennedy thought they were going to whistle it dead. She plays it late, but it will be side out back to Corbett. Trailing 13-6. Karamak. On the left side to Evans. Back row for Banks. And Addie Kennedy with the kill. She's fired up inside the near back corner. Past the diving Arachiga. 14-6 Banks. Shook will start out well. Now she moves up just in front of the end line, deep left the key. To Arachiga. Pulled back by Karamak, returned by Corbett, and that's going to go into the bleachers. Misplayed by Morgan McCraw, 14-7. Longoria's serve is returned long by Shook, 14-8. Corbett trying to battle back in the fourth. Have scored 3 out of the last 4 after being down 13-5. And issues between Longoria and Karamak. 15-8 side out back to Banks. Arlo Johns comes in replacing the senior Morgan McCraw. Jump serve from Kylie. That's going to be mishandled by Maddie O'Neill. Side out will stay with the Braves, up 16-8, doubling up the Cardinals. Low serve to Longoria. And Evans acting like she came up with the kill with the light touch off the dump back across the net, but I think that was just kind of a lucky return from Banks to get just enough on it. I'm not sure Evans actually made contact with the ball. 17-8 Braves, and Corbett comes up short into the net. Banks now up 10. And another ace in front of Longoria. Stretching out across the deck. 19-8 Braves. Serve from Kylie McCraw. That time Banks comes up short end of the net, 19-9. The serve to Shook. Evans too much. (19-10). Back to Corbett on the serve. Yunker. Right side. To Peters. Kylie McCraw dumped over by Evans. Finding a hole between Kira Mack and Layla Hagan. 20-10 Braves. Peters. Again, the low serve to Longoria back row for Corbett. At the net, the battle won by the Braves. Yunker can't handle it. Goes into the bottom of the bleachers. Far side, 21-10. Return long that time by Lauren Jansen, 21-11. Braves still just 4 points away from putting the Cardinals at rest in their nest. Bruton will serve. Left side of the key. Shook. Kylie McCraw dumped over by Jansen. Yunker sets it up for Hagan on the return, and it's long. 22-11 Braves. And again, return long by Corbett, 23-11. Braves 2 points away from their 5th victory in Coastal Range League play. The serve from Celix, misplayed by Hagan. Match point, 24-11. On Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Celix to put it away. And that's going to go into the bleachers just below us. An ace to seal the victory. Banks with a 4-set, 25-22, 25-7, 19-25, 25-11. Feathering of the Cardinals to improve to 5-2. Warrenton still a half game ahead of the Braves at 5-1. Corbett will drop to third at 5-3, and not sure what will happen with Yamhill Carleton tonight. We'll let you know once we get updated OSAA scores on osaa.org. No football on Friday, again, due to our broadcast responsibilities with Pacific University for volleyball. We'll talk to you next week, hopefully for the next Braves home volleyball match. Again, we will be off next Friday for football as well, again, due to Pacific University volleyball. Our next football broadcast will be Friday, October 24th, when the Braves host Valley Catholic, and then finish the season senior night on Thursday, October 30th, against Warrenton. That'll do it for us. From Banks High School, the Braves improved to 5-2 in 3A District 2 Northwest Region Coastal Range Volleyball with a 25-22, 25-7, 19-25, 25-11 4-set victory over the Corbett Cardinals. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast of Banks High School Athletics on Westside Mobile Media. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. Good night and God bless.